So I know this isn't the normal format that most people do these types of videos in, but I figured I wanted to try it a little bit differently because honestly, I've done the videos in the same format and it just didn't work for me. It wasn't exactly something that I enjoyed. But I did want to share a journey of something that is quite special because as someone that grew up with a PS2, even though I was a bit late to the PS2, there were certain franchises that really resonated with me. Those specifically are the Ratchet and Clank games, which means that there was a few that I didn't quite touch on in that PS2 generation. Namely, Sly Cooper and Jak and Daxter's are something that kind of passed me by, which I'm kind of ashamed to admit because I'm a massive PlayStation fan. However, I have more recently rectified that. I have done the Jak and Daxter Precursor Legacy game. I do need to hop into Jak and Daxter 2 and Jak 3 because those are two titles that I do have and don't really have any excuse for not playing, and I just want to get those done as well. They are some of the games that I look forward to playing the most. However, there's that other trilogy that I just have not had the chance to get into, and that is Sly Cooper. And boy, what have I been missing out on? Sly Cooper might be my favorite PlayStation 2 platformer. The first Sly Raccoon game, or Sly Cooper depending on where you are, and Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, it blew me away. It is exactly what I needed over the last weekend. I've had a very long week. I didn't want to sit down and put some time into Baldur's Gate 3, even though I probably should have because I'm nearing the end and I just didn't manage to get into it. However, when I renewed my PlayStation Plus subscription, because there's now at the moment a 35% off sale on PlayStation Plus Premium or Deluxe depending on where you are, I decided I would like to hop back into something a bit simpler, something from a time gone by that I might have missed out on. So what I did was I loaded it up and I did the entire game in a weekend and did the entire trophy list. So I'm going to take you on my platinum journey with Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, or Sly Raccoon depending on where you are. So let's hop straight into it. So without spoiling too much, in each of the sections of the game, which there are 5 of, so there's 5 main sections of the game with a boss, but 4 of them are more similar than the last one. The last one is slightly different. What happens in each of these 4 sections is you get the ability to collect some collectibles, and in Sly Cooper these are clue bottles. With all the clue bottles from a certain area, so some have 20, some have 30, some have 40, some have other numbers, about 25, depends on which area you're in. These clue bottles help you open what is known as a vault right near the end. So for the first 4 chapters, I'm going to put up those trophies right now, right over here. Now you'll notice that most of these trophies revolve around completing all the tasks within the certain areas, as well as collecting clue bottles that help you unlock the vaults at the end of each of the levels within the major areas. So most major areas have about 7 tasks to do, and the majority of those 7 areas within those massive chapters, so you have 5 main chapters, and the majority of those tasks revolve around getting through a level or maybe collecting certain clue bottles. Now you don't have to collect the clue bottles to finish the level, however the clue bottles do unlock a vault which is tied to a trophy at the end of all the chapters. So getting all the clue bottles while you're doing your initial playthrough was really crucial to what I was doing. If I ever missed one, I would go back almost straight away and try to find one near the end. So your clue bottles usually give you little tasks or little abilities that Sly can do, and about the second to last one of each chapter will then give you the ability to find other clue bottles, which is obviously a very nice thing to have. So that's what I usually focused on while I was doing my playthroughs. I would do all these things, and then after I'd completed getting all the clue bottles as well as finishing all the main sections within a level or within a chapter, I would then come back and do the chapter specific or the level specific trophies. Now if you were eagle-eyed enough, you would have noticed that one of those 4 sets of trophies actually only had 3 trophies and I didn't attain the vault. Now the vault trophy you can actually only get once you complete the game, so we'll get back to that in due time. So while playing through the game initially, I obviously got some trophies along the way. Those included collecting 5 clue bottles, which are the clue bottles you need to open all the vaults, as we have spoken about before. And then I also got destroying 4 signs in a stealthy approach, which gave me a thief heeds no warning. Then while I was doing the straight to the top level, I got look out below for dropping 5 cars. Opening vaults does not only net you some rewards within the vault, but sometimes it nets you a trophy that ties in with those rewards. So for example, I got no more beaches for Sly, and Super Cooper for getting 2 different techniques that Sly could use throughout the rest of the game. In order to progress further with the game, I needed to go beat the last enemy. So I went and did the last boss fight. To my surprise, there was no more trophies besides defeating the boss attached to this section of the game. Once that was done, we did a little bit of sneakery and we stole a kiss from the foxy detective that has been hunting us down the entire game. Once this was complete, it was time to go clear up the rest of the trophies. And we started off with the last safe we needed to crack all the safe codes, giving us the Safe Cracker trophy for cracking every safe within the game. From here it was moved on to doing some level specific trophies, including destroying 7 panes of glass in Back Alley Heist, taking a shortcut through flaming debris in Gunboat Graveyard, and a bunch of others that I'm going to let play by now. But know that none of these were particularly difficult. There were some that required a little bit more finesse than others, but the real difficulty comes in after this when we had to complete 10 speedrun levels. With those last few trophies out of the way and heading into this last trophy, I think we need a change of scenery just to explain how much this trophy could have sucked if it wasn't for the rewind and all those awesome features that come with what is a much updated PS2 emulation software with the PlayStation Plus re-releases. So, like I said, definitely needed a change of scenery for this one because I need you guys to see my facial expressions when I'm talking about this trophy. If it was not for the rewind features that has been newly baked into the PS2 emulation that has now been implemented more widely, and we are starting to get a lot more PS2 titles back. So for example, if I was doing this on the PS3 HD remaster, I don't think I would have been able to do this as quickly or maybe just as ever because I would have gotten so frustrated. I abused the rewind feature for this last trophy, and this last trophy is called Speedius Thievius. I do not like speedrun trophies. I never have, probably never will. The only one that I've really ever done that has involved a massive full speedrun of a game is Stray, and that one I was quite comfortable with because I knew what I was doing. This one, if it wasn't for the rewind features, there's so many jumps, so many things that I would have missed. You will see now that I would have missed so many different things. I need you guys to look at my face when I say, if it was not for that rewind feature, I would not have done this trophy and I would not be doing this video. So with that out of the way, this last trophy really did test my limits because I did need to do 10 of the available speedruns. Luckily, you don't have to do all of them. I think if we had to do all of them, this trophy list or this trophy video might not have ever come out, or maybe it would have come out much later. However, I did manage to do it just because of those rewind features. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think these speedruns are actually very difficult. I just think I was so used to abusing this rewind feature that I kind of don't think I would have wanted to try do it without. So if I ever ran into a situation where I got halfway through and I died, or I got right to the end and I ran out of time, I think I would have probably just given up right there and then. The fact that I could get a decent way into the level and then rewind if I needed to, that is really what saved me with this particular trophy. So besides this one trophy maybe being a little bit tedious, the rest of the game, if you're not a trophy hunter, is a fantastic experience, and I cannot believe it took me up until 2025 to try Sly Cooper, and I cannot wait, or Sly Raccoon depending on where you are. I cannot wait to hop into the next games. I was going to do another weekend video and maybe do it again, so do it over a trilogy, but I see the next 2 games are actually a little bit longer, which does suck a little. However, I will eventually get to them, so maybe we can start doing these trophy videos again. I'm not gonna, they used to take place on Tuesdays, so they used to be Trophy Tuesdays. However, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to release these trophy videos whenever I can, predominantly on Thursdays. If this is coming out on Friday, this means that it will be our weekly video. If it's coming out Thursday, that means we're still going to have a weekly video this Friday. It just depends on time constraints of this week. This week has not been particularly kind to my time. I've been very busy this week. Things have just been going crazy. I love putting out content on the channel, so I'm going to try my best to put as much content out there as possible for you guys to sit and enjoy and tell me how you like them. Also, if you didn't check out Tuesday's top 5 video, make sure you tell me what you think of the new set. Go check that video out for a more full view, and then hopefully sometime soon we will be doing a little bit more of a room tour so that I can show you what's going on the shelf. I love how the shelf turned out. I love the controller wall at the back here. That is probably one of my favorite things on the entire shelf. Also, I like having all my retro stuff on one level and then all my more modern systems and more modern game collections on the top level. So let me know what you think of those, and I will check you guys either tomorrow or next week Tuesday, depending on when this video comes out. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe and stay tuned for more.